Euromaxx highlights. And here's your host, Louise Houghton.
Thanks for tuning in today for our highlight show where we bring you our pick of reports from the past week. Deep Down, underwater videos by the Ocean Brothers. Animal Magic, a magician from Finland plays tricks on dogs. And Fast and Furious, exploring the wacky world of water rides. The first underwater film was shot back in the 1940s. Since then, the ocean depths have been recorded many a time, but some divers are trying to show the seabed in a new light. Two Spanish brothers, for example, perform tricks underwater that look as if they've been computer-generated. Their latest short film is called Amazing Freedive, and it challenges the viewer's perception. We met up with the Ocean Brothers, as they're known, off the coast of Tenerife.
This video was made without using any special effects, but it doesn't look like it. The laws of gravity don't seem to apply to this man. The film was made by the Ocean Brothers, two passionate freedivers from Spain.
It's incredibly exhilarating to float weightless through the water.
It makes me feel free, as if I were flying. The idea behind our film was to translate the sensation of being underwater into images.
There's not just one reality. What I see is not the same as what you see. I'd like people to view as many different perspectives as possible.
The Ocean Brothers are masters at turning perspectives upside down, and they're able to put everything they do on shore into practice underwater too. With them, up is down, down is up, and nothing is as it seems. Images that make them look like they're floating on water have merely been rotated 180 degrees during editing. They applied the same principle to walking.
We wanted to capture the phenomenon of weightlessness underwater. Usually you use computer-generated special effects, but we couldn't afford them. So we figured out ways to achieve the same effects using simple tricks.
The Ocean Brothers' equipment is actually pretty basic. Just a small video camera in an underwater housing. Armando del Rosario Pinilla films all of his brother Francisco's most difficult scenes. Francisco is one of Europe's best freedivers. Acrobatic talent is essential when you're moving upside down beneath the surface of the water.
When you walk downwards head first, your body constantly tries to turn over. You need every fiber of your body to avoid that. It's about as tough as tightrope walking.
The Ocean Brothers simply let this scene play out backwards. During the shoot, the diver moved backwards across the seabed.
To stand on the sea floor, you have to release all the air in your lungs so that you don't float back up. You have to start walking backwards the very moment you feel like swimming back up because you've run out of air. But you can't, because that's when the shoot starts.
The two brothers have been producing underwater films with their production company for the last decade. Armando is a trained marine biologist and usually specializes in life beneath the oceans. His brother Francisco also shoots music videos and commercials.
I've always wanted to draw attention to what's beautiful and fascinating about the sea. That's why I make films that show nature in a new light, so that people notice and don't just see the same old images again.
Delighted, the Ocean Brothers follow the reception of their film on the internet. It's already racked up over 400,000 clicks on various video platforms. That's very encouraging.
It'd be great to win an Oscar one day.
To make a big-budget film one day that conveys the message that the ocean is a fascinating place that needs protecting, that'd be a dream come true.
The Ocean Brothers are already shooting new underwater footage. They want to show their next film in cinemas.
Well, from tricking our perception underwater, we turn to tricking our pets on the internet. Jose Ahonen is a magician who tested his skills on a bunch of bewildered dogs. His short films have become an internet sensation, clocking up millions of views. And following all of this success, he's now experimenting new ways to make videos with his magic, graphic skills, and of course, man's best friend.
Ah, the disappearing act, one of the oldest magic tricks in the book. But to a dog, it's very new and disconcerting. He just had the treat right in front of his nose and suddenly, poof, it's gone. Where'd it go? The trickster is 35-year-old Jose Ahonen of Finland. He makes the videos in the Finnish town of Tampere, in the midst of forests and lakes. Jose has been performing all around Finland for about 10 years to human audiences. But a few months ago, he decided to try out some magic on canine spectators.
The first time I tried the trick, this is actually how you can do it in home as well. You don't need anything to do this. So could you sit? Thank you. And you hold the treat with your hand like this, so your fingers covers the treat. And you put the treat on top of your head and you go.
The dog's varied reactions gave him an idea. Jose modified the trick. And 27 dog owners and his brother answered his Facebook invitation to take part. His brother is game for nearly anything.
It's always fun to see your brother with a big dog and maybe get attacked now.
He didn't exactly get attacked, but the reactions were surprising. Almost all the dogs fell for the trick. There's no known scientific explanation for why the dogs neglected to make use of their sense of smell.
Dogs are so good like performers, and they are like real and honest, and they don't fake anything. They are like what they are.
Ahonen, who's also a graphic designer, edited the footage in 2 videos that he titled simply Magic for Dogs and Magic for Dogs Part 2. The first video went viral immediately, racking up more than 16 million hits last time we checked.
I uploaded it in YouTube on Friday night. I went to sleep and my girlfriend woke me up, I think on like 9 a.m. and shouted it got like 40,000 views on YouTube. And I was like, what? And by the end of the day, it was $1 million views. And then I had like a champagne bottle opened.
Another trick was a levitating sausage, clearly bewildering the dogs. So much so that animal behavior researchers have shown interest in witnessing the video shoots firsthand. And dog lovers worldwide are of course the biggest fans.
Several people have emailed the same story, that they were having a bad day and they watched the video and they felt great after it. So I'm very happy that we have like spread the happiness around the world with this stupid little dog magic video.
How dogs react to human barking.
And Jose Ahonen is also making a name for himself as a dog comedian. Here he's asked a friend to help him see how dogs react when humans begin to speak their language. It's also proving to be a hit for Ahonen, who's having a howl with man's best friend.
Now, although this magician can magic food away, there is still an awful lot of food that goes to waste around Europe. In the catering world, there are regulations that restrict what happens to the unused food at the end of the day. But with sustainability being a buzzword here on the continent, some restaurants are recycling this old food. Sounds a bit off-putting, I know, but the dishes are popular and the supplies are streaming into the kitchen.
This food would normally have landed in the garbage. But Copenhagen's Rup and Stub restaurant serves what farmers and supermarkets would otherwise throw away. Chef Søren Grimstrup freezes leftovers, preserves vegetables and turns fruit into chutney. Nothing goes to waste.
Alle Zutaten, die hier reinkommen,
The ingredients that we get aren't bad.
ja, die sind nicht schlecht. Also, die sind nur
They've just been left over in the system because we, the consumers, don't want to buy them.
die Verbraucher, die nicht kaufen wollen.
The restaurant is located in a cultural centre in Copenhagen's Old Town. The building, constructed almost 300 years ago, is one of the city's oldest. More than 100 volunteers work here without pay. One of them is Elizabeth Geertje Palgrim.
Sometimes I feel that people, they just talk a lot. And then it's nice to feel that you can do something.
These so-called asparagus potatoes have just arrived. They're simply too big for farmers to sell. 40% of the ingredients here are donated. The rest are purchased. Every day, Søren Grimstrup spontaneously creates a new menu.
I wanted to make focaccia because I have so much salsa on hand.
Überschuss-Salsa.
Today's main course is mussels with French fries.
Normalerweise würde man
Normally, you'd plan a dish that requires specific ingredients.
diese Sache haben.
Here we might have an idea and a main ingredient, like potatoes or mussels.
Kartoffeln, Musseln oder so.
And out of that, we create a dish.
Dann müssen wir es
If we're missing a few ingredients, we have to find something to replace them.
Ingredienzen oder so einige Zutaten nicht dazu haben. Das müssen wir austauschen.
A group of friends founded Rup and Stub in 2013 with just €1,200 in startup capital. The restaurant's goal was to do something against food wastage. Sophie Sales is one of the founders. Reportedly, a whopping 1/3 of all the food grown in the world is thrown away.
Some of us used to work in kitchens when we were younger, and we saw a whole lot of food being thrown out. So we sat together and talked about how is it possible to save, to collect all this food before it's wasted.
Word has got around, and nowadays shops with leftovers get in touch. Today, a cafe owner personally brings fresh coffee beans that he doesn't need.
It is a good, good cause, and it gives a good, a good karma to give it.
Other restaurants have taken up Rup and Stub's idea. For example, In Stock, which opened this summer in Amsterdam. There are quite a number of cafes and catering businesses around the world that convert rejected groceries into mouth-watering treats. Ruben Stub is busy in the evenings. On offer today, bread nachos, a Ruben Stub invention that finds a use for the many donations of bread it gets. The alternative, focaccia with parsley pesto. The main dishes are reasonably priced, and Ruben Stub is packed in the evenings. Among the guests are politicians, tourists and students.
It was really good.
When I feel too full, it feels good because I know that I saved a lot of food.
The restaurant serves small portions to keep waste to a minimum, but second helpings are free.
We tell ourselves that if we have to close this restaurant because no food is surplus food anymore, it's been a success.
But it doesn't look like that's going to happen soon. For the time being, Ruben Stub will keep serving good food for a good cause. Its profits go to charity.
Now, you have to be a bit of an adrenaline junkie to like what is up next. We're exploring the most extreme water slides across Europe, many of which have become as heart-stopping as roller coasters. With free falls, double loops and breakneck speeds, water park developers are always trying to outdo last summer's thrill. And the demand is high. Two young experts have even put their experiences online, and we were there as they reviewed the latest wild ride.
A 32-meter plunge at more than 100 kilometers an hour.
You stand there and you think, whoa, what's going to happen? It looks really exciting and I really want to.
If you pay, I go. Don't pay, I don't. I'm scared so much.
Not on my own, only if someone goes with me.
It's too high for me.
The Caneva World Water Park in Italy boasts one of Europe's tallest body slides. We met up with German brothers Julian and Luca Cech, both of them water slide experts.
The perfect slide has to be tall and fast. You have to really feel the adrenaline, and it has to be well built, smooth sliding, and comfortable. It's most fun when you're really squeezed in going around a curve.
The brothers run a website dedicated to giant slides. In their free time, they travel all across Europe testing water parks. They've tried out more than 700 in the last 5 years, many captured on video and put on YouTube. But they've never been on a slide as tall as this. Despite the intimidating height, Julian rises to the challenge.
You can't think about it too much, so I'm just gonna go do it.
Just before the trapdoor opens, he turns on the camera and he's off.
It's fantastic. The start alone, you really just drop. Then you're at top speed until the end. You just go incredibly fast. I'm going down again right away.
Higher, steeper, stranger. There's serious competition among amusement parks for extreme water slides. Here, one even goes straight through a shark tank. At almost 50 meters high, Brazil's Kilimanjaro slide is the world's tallest. Mammoth in the US is the longest, covering almost 540 meters. The challenge for slide designers? They should push the envelope, yet the rides should still be safe. Every slide created by Rainer Braun in his office in Stuttgart means he has to come up with new ideas and solutions.
Imagine you're coming at the water at 100 kilometers an hour. At that speed, the surface of the water is as hard as concrete. So I have to come up with special techniques to make the water softer, like injecting air into it.
Rainer Braun's most spectacular slide was the world's first double looper in Thurgau, Austria. And Julian Scherch and his brother came to test it.
Slides are getting extreme. In recent years, we've seen entirely new developments. I expect some very interesting projects in the next few years.
A view of the Alps and then 14 meters of free fall. That provides the speed to complete the 2 loops.
I rate it excellent. It's really fun, and I'd recommend it to anyone.
To get their adrenaline back to normal, Julian and Luca then go on a calmer ride. Wiser, but still in their element.
Well, karma is the theme of our final report today as we head off to Switzerland and the northeastern canton of Thurgau. This is a popular destination for both day trips and longer vacations. At their own pace, visitors can stroll around the lake, go wine tasting, or take in some of the local culture.
Visitors flock to the Swiss canton of Thurgau for its varied landscape, its centuries-old half-timbered houses, and a scenery along Lake Constance. A stroll along its shore offers a view of neighboring Germany. Thurgau also beckons with castles and vineyards. Pinot Noir grapes and the local Müller-Thurgau white variety are both grown here. Michael Broger works without chemicals and does most of the cultivation by hand to preserve the soil.
With my wines, you can certainly taste the different vintages. My wines aren't sugared or concentrated. And you can really taste whether or not we had a hot summer, a dry autumn, or a rainy period.
Cool nights and hot afternoons in the fall are perfect ripening conditions. At least 50 families in Thurgau canton still cultivate grapes here. Arenenberg Castle is nearby. Louis Napoleon, who later became Emperor Napoleon III, spent part of his childhood here. His mother, Hortense de Beauharnais, was exiled from France after Napoleon I was forced to abdicate. Dominique Gugel is the head of the Napoleon Museum in the castle. The family's rooms have been restored to their original state.
Arenenberg was a very important location in the 19th century. People knew that the pretender to the French throne lived here, so the entire continent's royalty came here on visits.
Napoleon III lived here until he turned 31. Among the famous guests at his mother's court were the Hungarian composer Franz Liszt and the French writer Alexandre Dumas. Visitors also come for the castle's landscape park, which covers 13 hectares.
Arenenberg Park is only an indirect reflection of the canton, because Thurgau has such a diverse landscape. In southern Thurgau, you see the alpine foothills. In the Thur Valley, there are river flood plains. And here we see this harmonious, lovely landscape.
The village of Gottlieben is just a few kilometers away. Founded in the late 13th century, today the village is home to 300 residents. A wealth of half-timbered houses draws many celebrities and ordinary tourists to the village. Dieter Bachmann works here.
Gottlieben is a real jewel. It's peaceful, especially in winter. Very quiet, and next door is a European bird sanctuary, so there isn't any traffic here.
The only loud place in Gottlieben is the Hüppen Bakery. Hüppen are mini wafer rolls filled with chocolate or sweet creams. Dieter Bachmann runs the Hüppen factory. The village's specialty is said to have been a favorite of Napoleon III.
Hüppen are part of Switzerland's culinary heritage. It's wonderful to head a company with such a rich history.
At the end of the day, we enjoy the play of clouds and the evening sun on the lake, just one of Thurgau's many attractions.
Well, that peace and quiet is a great way to end the show today. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you again next time. Until then, goodbye.